Balak was the king of Moab, and to him, he saw a very big problem coming and he wanted to control it with everything in his power. Does that sound like you and me? If we see a problem, we want to just control every little aspect and micromanage everything? Well, it's been going on for thousands of years, as you can probably imagine. Now, what did Balak see? Well, after the Israelites left Egypt and went through the wilderness, they were passing through Moab, and they told King Balak, "Hey, we're not going to stop here. Just let us go peacefully, and we'll be on our way. We're just passing through." But he was fearful, and he acted out of fear and didn't believe it. So what happened? He decided to take things into his own hands and actually curse Israel, which you're going to see was the wrong decision. So, for you and for me, this sounds like, hey, this could be my life, except I'm not a king of Moab. I'm just here, right? But the action of being fearful of what could be and then acting that way to control every aspect, that's really not what God wants for us in our life, because that's going to make us exhausted and tired. And actually, that could probably come back and bite us and cause us more harm than good. So let's kind of see what this guy, King Balak, was all about. And here I got the old-fashioned Bible here. This is in Numbers 22. This is verse 7. This is after Balak has seen the Israelite people and knows they're there. Balak's messengers, officials of both Moab and Midian, set out and took money with them to pay Balaam to curse Israel. I got a video about Balaam. Check that out as well. So King Balak knew, hey, if I just throw some money at this, it's going to go away. Well, a lot of people in our life think like this. If I just handle it with some money or just pay it away, then my problems are going to go away. And although that might work in the short term, that's really not the true solution that God wants for us in our hearts and for our long-term health and wellness. God wants us to actually learn to trust Him, humble ourselves before Him, and really believe that God is going to do what's best for us in our long term, which is exactly not what Balak does. As you can see here, Balak decides to do everything himself, his way, and his might. And this happens a lot with us, with our positions on our workplace, what we've built with our own hands. We believe that our security and safety is with what we have created. And that is not what God has for us, because it's going to give us a false sense of security. And when the troubles of life come, we're going to crumble and fall. So if we move forward, we see that Balaam rejected it. He said, I don't want your money. I'm not going to do it. Okay, God told me no, so I'm not going to do it. Well, this is verse 15 in Numbers 22. Then Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of even more distinguished guests than those he had sent the first time. And they went to Balaam and gave him a message, basically saying, we'll give you anything you want if you will come and curse these people. Well, so as you can see, Balak is really trying again, gritting his teeth to control the situation. This is not what God wants us to do. He doesn't want us to grit our teeth and try to micromanage everything. Yes, God has given us the wisdom and ability to lead, obviously. He wants us to do great things. But as you can see in the story here, if it's not going exactly the way Balak wants it to, he's freaking out and he's going to have a lot of problems. He can actually avoid all of this nonsense if he just trusted God in the first place, which he didn't. So for you and for me, it is hard, because as humans, we want to control everything. We want to be like God. We want to be in control of our life. But that is exactly what God does not want us to do. So it's hard for us to live and act this way. So after Balaam gets to Balak and they prepare the sacrifices, and Balaam's going to actually curse the Israelite people in chapter 23, we actually find out that the opposite happens. um, Balaam actually blesses Israel in front of Balak. In Numbers 23:11, King Balak demanded of Balaam, "What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies. Instead, you blessed them." So as you can see here, the very thing that Balak didn't want to happen did happen, all because he wasn't trusting and believing that God has the best for him in the end. He wanted to manage everything and remain in control his own way. He ends up getting killed by the Israelite people, so he has the worst kind of ending ever. But for you and for me, it can seem all too important to actually control everything and make sure we have the best outcome. But don't be like Balak. Let's trust God, give it to Him. If God allows it, He does. If He doesn't, He doesn't. That doesn't mean we're not going to try hard or work hard or think good plans and strategies. Of course we will. But we're going to bring it to God in prayer and reflection. So let's become successful and live out what God has for us.